Henry Jackson was the baby brother of Georgia Revolutionary Governor James Jackson. They were natives of Devonshire, England, and James came over to America when he was a young man and had already established himself before his younger brother Henry grew up. When Henry was getting to the age to go to college, James told the parents to send Henry over here and he would educate him. And that he did. And then he got Henry a job teaching at the University of Georgia in its very early years. About that time, Georgian William H. Crawford was appointed ambassador to France, and he asked Henry to go as secretary of the American legation to Paris. As Henry was passing through Washington, D.C., his attention was attracted by a very lovely woman who unfortunately was married. She was the wife of Congressman Howell Cobb, the uncle of future Georgia Governor Howell Cobb. And so, you know, he could have no aspirations of courting her. She was married. But when he returned from France, Howell Cobb, the congressman, had died, and she was a widow. So he paid suit and married her, and they had 3 children, 2 daughters, one of whom is buried here, and a son who was named Henry Roots Jackson, who became a statesman of Georgia and also wrote the poem, Those Old Red Hills of Georgia. Henry Jackson helped with building the library of the university. They asked him to buy books for the library while he was abroad, and he did. Also, after his death, his personal library became a part of the university library. And in recent years, we had a significant theft from the university's rare books division, and we knew where some of those books were, in the hands of private book dealers, but we had to prove that those particular books had been taken from the University of Georgia Library. It wasn't good enough that the coincidence of the disappearance from our library and the appearance in the hands of those booksellers indicated they were ours. Well, the GBI took those books and applied ultraviolet light and brought up the signature of H. Jackson on the flyleaf of one of the books. It had been eradicated by the people who removed it by the university library, and they didn't know that the ultraviolet light would bring up the signature again. So we could prove that book came from the University of Georgia Library, and thereby we were able to, I'm using the royal we for the university, was able to claim that book and prosecute the person who took the books from the university library. So Henry Jackson's role in the University of Georgia continued 100 years after his death.